And we're live.
Hopefully.
I think we're live.
Is the mic working?
So guys, this is all brand new and we're set up outside, as you can see, and we might be getting some wind noise.
It wasn't windy until we sat down and
yeah,
started
as soon
trying
as
to
we
do
got
this.
ready to go live. So if you're picking up a lot of wind noise, please let us know, and we might have to rearrange things here. But anyway, thanks for joining us. This is something new and different and seems to be the way of things.
Yep.
So we're hoping to do a quick question and answer session. Well, quick is relative. We'll go as long as it seems appropriate. So anyway, I'm Corey.
I'm Becky.
And let's see here. Here's our kids, Carter and Ella.
They didn't want to be in the video today. So
yeah, that's okay. They're in playing video games. We are coming to you live from Myrtle Beach. As you can see, it is a beautiful day.
Yep.
And we've done pretty much nothing today.
Yep. It's been a good day.
Yeah, actually it has.
Well, Corey's worked hard.
Well, I've been working on getting this stuff put together, but yeah.
So.
So anyway, if you're out there, we've got a few people on. Jump on and leave us a note. Say hi. Tell us where you're coming from. And we're going to talk a little bit about where we've been and where we're planning on going. And as you all know, we're a full-time RV family, so we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. What do you think?
That's about it.
So we made this plunge in 2018. We were planning around 2016.
Yeah, we started planning in 26, probably actually before that, but getting serious and getting ready to put our house on the market in 2016, I think.
Yep, and it took a little bit longer to sell than we thought it would, but we did eventually get it sold, and we felt really good about that. And then we moved in to our Winnebago.
Yep.
So the Winnebago,
Hi to Ohio, by the way.
Hello, Ohio. We're from Ohio, so we might have several viewers from Ohio. Anyway, sorry for the sunglasses because it's a little bit bright out here, so we don't want to be like this. Anyway, so we were in that Winnebago for just about a year, I think.
Yeah.
Well, from the time we purchased it to the time we moved in it, and you all know that was a big to do. But anyway, one of the biggest questions that we've had recently is we sold the Winnebago, and we put up a video that kind of talked about the situation around that sale and the gentleman that bought it, who was faced with a lot of health problems, and anyway, we've had a lot of questions about how that's going for him.
But before we do that, Ray S wants to know how the weather is here. It's been really nice today, like mid-60s, sunny and warm, and it was not breezy, so it actually felt really good. But as soon as we sat down to do this, the wind started picking up. So
yeah, please someone jump on and tell us if you're getting too much wind noise, if you can't quite hear us. That hawk is flying. He's got a fish.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Okay,
sorry for the distraction. A hawk just flew by. Maybe you saw him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let me give you a quick recap on the Winnebago. I've put together something for you guys so that we're all on the same page there. And, well, anyway, let's go ahead and take a quick look at that. was our Winnebago. That was fully renovated. That was how it was when we sold it. Yeah.
So the guy that bought it, we have heard from him since he purchased it. That's a big question we keep getting from people is, have you heard from the guy who bought it? And yes, we have. And every time we've heard from him, it's just been a question about, something functioning on the Winnebago. Sorry, Ella's coming to tell me something probably. But anyways, and that's it. And then he says everything's going well. So we just answer the question and that's about it.
We know that he was going to stay in one place for 3 weeks at least and then enter Corona. So he's probably...
He talked about going to the Florida Keys. You can't get into the Florida Keys. So I doubt that's happened.
Yeah.
So
anyway, hopefully this is making a good fit for him. And it sure looked like he was really excited about it. The Winnebago, So the Winnebago was kind of a challenge for us. It made us a pretty good home there in the beginning, but we quickly learned that some of the features weren't quite ideal for us. So we're now in a fifth wheel.
Yep, which you guys have probably seen that video if you watch, just because we've made a video about purchasing the fifth wheel.
We did.
Yeah.
Fifth wheel seems to be suiting us a lot better.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good transition to the boat. Just because I think the boat's going to feel a little bit more like a home. It has a little more space, a little more separation of spaces, kind of like a home does. So, yeah.
So we've got a few people that jumped on. We've got RJRQ in Conway. Hello. That's not so far away.
So technically, I think this is Conway, even though it's Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, this RV resort is pretty much Conway. Yeah.
Just kind of in the middle.
And Angeline, hi. You're in Chicago. Hope everything's going good with your leg up there. And Jennifer, hello. I'm glad it sounds good. Thanks for letting us know.
Yep.
Anyway, so since we got a few people on, and for formality's sake, we're going to do a quick introduction. This is the same thing that you guys have seen many times, but bear with me so that people watching this later will have a clue who we are and what's going on. Here we go. We were an average family, struggling with debt and yearning for freedom and adventure. Now we live full-time in our RV, and we share our adventures with the world. We've got a big dream of purchasing a live-aboard sailboat and expanding our adventures to the water. Welcome to our channel, Salty Escape.
Let's change our story, let's change our life. We'll do it our way, our own design.
We're back. So that's who we are. That's what's going on.
So, does anybody have any questions that's watching? We have some questions that we've kind of put some videos together for you guys of what we've been asked on multiple of our videos at this point in time. But if anybody has a question while you're on here, feel free to ask. We'll answer anything.
That's why we're here. That's the goal of this anyway.
This is called Boring Quarantine.
So one of the bigger ones is this campground. More along our inner circle, but also on Facebook, we've had several questions about the campground because we're a part of some of these full-time camper groups. And I don't know if a lot of you know this, but a lot of people that live in their RV have basically been evicted and have nowhere to go.
Yeah, that is not the case for us. We are good. We are here. We have a lease for where we're at, so
we're considered a long-term. That was our agreement, which we could get out of apparently with a month notice. But we're so thankful that we made that choice to do a long-term arrangement. Yeah, a lot of these people that were staying in state parks, and some of the different states have different rules and enforcement that have put in place, and even private institutions have been told to get them out of there. So that's been a big problem for a lot of people. And this is Carolina Pines in Conway, Myrtle Beach area, South Carolina. They have been told to close to short-term rentals.
Yes.
And if you were here already
on a 30-day, I think you had to be on a 30-day
at least, you were allowed to extend it if you needed to, but
you weren't kicked out.
Yeah.
And we will, as of right now, we will be allowed to renew, which we're not due to do that for a couple months still, but if we need to.
But we got a lot of questions about what this place looks like. And actually, it's kind of post-apocalyptic right now, to be honest. At least in some areas.
Yeah.
Where we are, this is where the long-term lease people are.
Our side has got people milling about, but we all go for walks and ride bikes, and it's a lot of fun, and it's still fun even though all the amenities are closed.
It's very empty. Anyway, I shot some video today to show you guys what this place looks like right now. So let's take a look at that. This is pretty insightful, and this is pretty much you see all the way around America as far as I can tell. But here we go. Let's take a look at Carolina Pines right now. So that is what we look like right now.
That's the middle of the day, and that was around the Commons area, which is typically where everybody gathers. It's where the restaurant is, the arcade, the bowling alley. So usually there's a whole lot of people over there, and there is no one.
At this point, mid-April, they were expecting to be booming with people.
We went on a huge walk this morning, and a couple other people are walking, but everybody's staying far distance from each other, and it's very peaceful.
Yeah.
Like more so than a neighborhood, I would think.
Yeah.
Ray asked, if you find your dream boat, what will you do with your fifth wheel? That's a great question.
Yeah, that's something that we actually talk a lot about.
Yeah, we talk a lot about that. So as most of you know, we do not still have a truck. We have not purchased a truck.
But we have the truck that we've had that can't tow this fifth wheel.
We can't tow the fifth wheel.
Yeah.
So we don't know what we're going to do with the fifth wheel.
It depends on a few things.
It does depend on a few things. So we are shopping for catamaran sailboats, most likely. We are open to monohulls as well, but we're looking at catamaran sailboats. And the thought is if we get a catamaran sailboat that is in really good shape and we're going to move onto it quickly, that we may consider selling the fifth wheel. We may.
See, the virus is creating all of this unknown with us.
Because I don't know what's going to happen.
Before the virus, we fully expected to buy a boat that was going to require some work. I expected that. I would have, liked to buy one that didn't require work because that means we could start sailing quickly.
I wasn't having that because we have had too many projects in our lifetime.
Yeah, we do.
And I kind of get tired of the projects. I like getting... Right now, I think we'll get a little better boat for the money we were looking to spend.
Yeah.
We're hoping. We'll see.
Yeah, boat prices ought to, start circling down.
See.
They're luxury items for most people. Most people are not looking at a boat to be their full-time residence like we are. So
anyways, we are thinking if we find the boat that we want, because the space will be so much more, we are honestly thinking about selling the fifth wheel and maybe buying a small travel trailer again, kind of like what we had for our Airstream, just something that is kind of a land exploration, camping
when
trailer.
When we're not
on the boat
sailing. Yep. So we can be traveling. Yeah. Absolutely.
And somebody says, I think our prices will maintain. It's possible. Yeah. Well, the cat prices, we actually have seen some price drops listed, and we did look at a cat that was dropped $20,000.
Yeah. I mean, the next few weeks are going to tell the tale.
See what happens.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unknowns. But
Roger,
possible. He's the one that just asked the question. He gave us good advice to market the Winnebago aggressively. And we did, and that paid off. Because there's actually a Winnebago that I just saw still today, because I get these ads come through for RV Trader, that was basically the same as ours. I don't think it was as nice, but it's still for sale, and it's marked at least $15,000 higher than we were. So we're so happy that sold, and just by the nick of time. The fifth wheel. We have another question. Did you see that one?
I don't think it's a question. I think it's just a comment. Hi guys, thanks for joining.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello.
So I think that's probably what's going to happen. Just because if we get the boat that we want, we don't know that we want to drop 30 to 50,000 on a used truck to tow the fifth wheel, when we wouldn't necessarily need the space that the fifth wheel has, because we wouldn't need to have all of our stuff in it.
Right.
So that's just kind of where that is right now. We see camping as being the thing that we're going to do forever.
Yeah.
I mean, we have dreams of going out west and all these things, but we're seeing sailing as being, kind of the main home, hopefully for winter travels, and then summertime, maybe going inland.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see what happens.
Um,
Plans change all the time.
You want to talk about the boats?
Yeah, so boat-wise, we looked at a lagoon.
It was a decent amount of wind right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Here we go.
So
the boat we just looked at.
It was a Lagoon 410.
Yep.
And it's nice. It wasn't as nice as maybe it was advertised to be. There's some things that have been supposedly upgraded, but it just didn't look that great. But it was also just full of the people's stuff and trash and all kinds of stuff still that, whatever.
It was pretty dirty.
Yeah, and I can look past dirt.
I can too.
But some of the things I was like, it didn't give you that warm fuzzy feeling on that boat specifically. No. Now I will tell you, we've been on a Lagoon 380, which is a smaller boat, that we did have a very warm fuzzy feeling on.
Yeah, we did.
Even though, in all honesty, I don't know that would be the boat that we would choose to full time.
Pushing the limit on size.
Yeah. So there's a Privilege in Fort Lauderdale that we'd like to look at. There's a Leopard up in New Bern currently listed that we like to look at, and we're just constantly looking. I haven't really seen anything new posted for the last week. I look almost every day. And
at the moment, we can't travel to these other states to look at them anyway, so we're just internet shopping.
Yeah, and I agree. There are lots of people circumnavigating on 410s. I think they are very capable boats, and it's not off our list. We do like the 410. Just the 410 that we looked at did not, for the price, did not feel like we had hoped it would feel. I don't know. I don't know what to say other than that maybe it just wasn't the right one for us. But it might still be. I think the price would have to come down.
It was priced at the top of the market, and that was right at the very beginning when Corona was starting to hit, and people were being told to stay indoors.
It has had a price drop, but still, I don't know. It's not off our list.
It's absolutely not.
I do like the lagoons. I like the windows in the salon on the lagoons. I think they're fantastic.
We're really excited about the Privilege, though.
We are excited about the Privilege. It's a heavy boat. That's the only negative, but
if you wanted to get places fast, you wouldn't go sailing.
Yeah, that's true. And I know, there's always something to be said for speed versus size versus lots of things for people who sail. It's always a question of trade-offs, but I don't know. The Privilege, we're interested to look at a couple of those, a 42 and a 435. I'm hoping. Yeah. We'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.
Absolutely. You mentioned the Airstream a couple of minutes ago, and that's something that we've actually prepared, because a while back, our first camper was an Airstream, and a while back we had a short little run of videos on our platform here.
Yeah, so that was our introduction to RVing. We had never RV'd, neither of us, right? Did your family didn't RV, right?
No.
No, mine didn't either. That was not something we had ever done before.
No.
So when we first talked about getting an RV, we wanted an Airstream. We loved the lines of the Airstream. We just loved the vintage feel of an Airstream. We didn't want a new Airstream because honestly, I don't know who can afford those. If you can, then
good for you.
Great. They'll be used for us later, maybe.
But we do get some questions periodically about the Airstream, so let's quickly bring you up to date. I have prepared a tiny little video about the Airstream. Okay. that was our Airstream. So that's a 1979 Airstream Tradewind, which is about a 25-foot. And when we bought it, it was original, and it was in good condition original, but as you can see, it was not original when we sold it. Did a massive renovation, which spanned the course of years, mostly because of distractions and life getting in the way. But the questions we tend to get are, would you do it again?
Yep.
And I like the Airstream, and I wouldn't mind having another, but there's definitely things I would not do again that we did on this one.
Yeah, so, and thank you, Roger, for saying good job with the live stream. This is Corey's thing he got. This is all new for us. We've not done this before.
Quick, we'll talk real fast about that. So we got this cool little device here. It's called a Stream Deck, and it allows us to jump in and do things like that. So we're learning. This is technology that we've never used.
Something we're trying out just because, filming and putting together a video right now is really difficult because there's not really anywhere to go or explore so much. So we thought we'd try this out, but thank you.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
But as far as doing an Airstream again, that is actually what I have said to him. If we sold the fifth wheel, I would maybe lean toward purchasing an Airstream.
It'd have to be slightly bigger. Maybe a 30-foot, 27-foot, somewhere in there. Slightly bigger.
Yeah, I would get a big, like the Sovereign, the 31-footer.
Yeah.
That might be a little pushing it.
Maybe slightly newer.
Maybe an 80s.
But there's things that we did on that Airstream that were just stupid that I wouldn't do again.
They weren't stupid. They were a lot of work.
It was
a lot of work for. I'm not sure what the payoff.
I don't know if you noticed on the inside, it had a vinyl all over the interior dome, and that was the same type of aluminum that was on the exterior. Where's my hand? There it is. And we stripped that through a painstaking process.
It was horrible. That took forever.
It took weeks, and that stuff, a tiny little drip would go on, and then your skin would be burning.
And it was terrible.
So I would not do that again, at least not like that. No, I'd probably paint, if we were to do that. But rebuilding the inside and the walls, there was a learned skill there, and now that I know how
curves and
it would be easier to do the second time around.
But it would be harder for us to redo an Airstream at this point because we don't have a workshop.
Yeah.
Like at the point we did the Airstream, we were living in a house. His whole garage was a workshop, and that made it a whole lot easier. So I don't know that we would sign up for a giant remodeling project of an Airstream at this point in time, but an Airstream in the future, I would say, is not off the table. And I could see he and I, later years when the kids maybe are gone, traveling by Airstream part of the year and sailboat the rest of the year. And that's another question we do get asked, and we didn't prepare a video for that because I don't know what we would put. But would you go back to a house?
We get that question a lot.
No.
A lot.
I'm not interested in it at this point in time. I don't know. I'm sure there is circumstances that could occur that would make you say, you know what, I need to be in a home right now of some variety. But at this point, I can't imagine. And I've said if I had to go back to a house, I might just even choose a tiny house. I don't know.
Like an 800 square foot house.
Not even that.
Not even that.
Yeah.
Our first house was 1,200 square feet, and that
I feel like the space in that house would swallow us now.
Yeah.
It's very strange what you can get used to. Ray says he has a 1965 Overlander frame-up restore. Costs more than buying a new one.
Yes, it does.
Do it again? He said no.
No.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Ray, you're doing a frame-off restoration? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But there's a guy I've been watching recently that's doing an Avion on YouTube, and his videos are very well put together. I don't know who he is, so I'm not going to link him, but
yeah. Ray, do you have a YouTube channel where you're videoing this? Because I think people might like to watch that. People like the Airstream restores if you're not. And then Lynn said she sold her house and moved into a fifth wheel, and she's 72. Yeah, right. I know. That's the thing. And people told us we were crazy, like absolutely insane when we did it. And people we work with still don't understand it. They call us like homeless hobos or whatever. But I don't care, and I just feel like they are not.
Like, you're the one that lives in the RV.
Yeah.
It's like they've heard about us before.
Through our office, because we have a lot of people at our jobs that don't necessarily know us, but as soon as they hear your name, they're like, "Oh, you're the one who lives in an RV. Like you're a crazy person." So
that's us right here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's us. So yeah. But yeah, it's really funny. But I don't regret it. It's not something that I miss at all. I don't even ever think about our house. And actually, we were talking today, though, about this place being so empty. And, you know, it will get chaos in here, I'm sure, when summer starts. And hopefully they'll be able to open up in a few months and get some summer business, because we want them to do well, of course, because we like it here. But we love doing walking around and riding our bikes here, and our neighborhood was just so tiny with such a
it really wasn't even a
one
neighborhood.
Street. And so I was like, oh, if we were in our neighborhood, where in the world would we
would feel trapped.
Where would we go and walk and whatever?
Yep.
Roger asked, how much sailing experience have you had, and have you done any ASA courses? Oh,
that's also a common question.
This is a funny question. So
Roger, we owned a 25-foot trailerable sailboat.
A McGregor. With a kicker on the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we did sail it with no sailing experiences. It was
challenging
because around here we took it down. I don't know if you're familiar with South Carolina, but we took it to Winnebago, which is Georgetown. Around Georgetown, South Carolina. You can read about that. Has opposing currents.
There's
from
like two different rivers.
There's multiple. And then the ocean.
Rivers that feed into this bay, and then the ocean, and then you get conflicting currents and tides, and we were under full sail.
Yeah.
And not making any ground at all.
Not making any ground. And then the funny thing was, you would
get
out, and if the current was against you, we had a little 10-horse on the back, and we would be like, okay, we got to get back. And the wind wasn't right, so you couldn't. So we would drop the motor and the tiller, and I'd watch the buoys, and I'd be like, we're not moving.
It's like
we weren't moving. There were times where I was like, we're going to have to call towboat to go back in. This is terrible.
Yeah. So we will need ASA classes, especially with the cat and the cruising catamarans.
That is
all of that's on the plan. Yeah. We watched Jason Nicky win Gone with the Winds. We're not making a plug on them, but didn't even know this was an option until we saw their channel where they had an instructor come onto their boat and teach them on their boat, and we love that idea.
That's what we want to do. I think. I mean, we've talked about going for sailing classes, and I think if we get to a point where we're not finding a boat that we want, or we're biding time or whatever, we might do cat sailing courses first. But the plan at this point is to buy the boat and then hire the sailing instructor to do the courses on our boat, because we want to be able to learn our boat and feel confident in our boat and know what we're doing. And so some of the sailing schools that have cats, they're smaller than 40 feet, and if you're looking at trying on learning on a bigger boat, you're often learning with other couples, and then also tends to cost a lot more money with that. But I don't know.
Roger says, don't listen to any naysayers, get the big boat.
Second boat first. Yeah, that's a funny.
Yeah.
So we actually bought the McGregor thinking, oh, this, like, the romantic idea of we're going to sleep on this boat one night at anchor, just because then we feel that dream. We want to feel how that's going to feel, because this was in all the pre-planning that we did several years ago.
Yeah.
That never happened. That boat was so uncomfortable.
Well, we didn't have a place.
He couldn't stand up in it, and it didn't really have a functioning head, and there was no, it just was uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, it was
fine to sail
sailor.
and sit outside, but it wasn't super fun to be down in the hall. It was very hot, and
just a day sailor.
It was just a day
but
sailor.
It was a good one to get some experience with and get your feet wet, so to speak.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people out there are saying, all these people doing sailing who have no sailing experience. Well, you had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And this is something we've looked into. We've been on a large cat sailing, a 43-footer with a captain, and we loved it. We didn't take lessons, but we went out just to be sure that we were like, this is something that we want to do. Because we'd only been on small boats. I've been on a lot of fishing boats. That's my experience.
Yeah, you
lots
grew up on the water.
Boats.
I had less time on the water when I was little, but
lots of time on the water. Like an 8-hour. We were talking today, like a 12-hour, sail somewhere. I'm like, I'm not worried about that, because I spent 12 hours sitting on a fishing boat before, I'm sure. So, yeah.
So anyway, so 2020 was going to be our year to buy a boat.
And I still hope that it is. That's what I hope for. It's just kind of cumbersome right now, because you can't go places to look.
Yep.
And I have a list of boats written down that I want to see, but there's no way really to go at this point in time without getting into some maybe sticky situations and the whole social distancing. So we're going to do what we're supposed to do. Our jobs have asked us not to travel because they want us to stay well, because we need to go to work. And yeah.
Yep.
So we're doing what we're supposed to do right now.
Absolutely.
And dream and while we wait. Yeah, that's all. But anyways, yeah, so I can't think of any other questions. But yeah, we don't miss live a house. People who've done this and live in RVs or boats or whatever the case may be, I think they all get it. And I think a lot of people who haven't done it don't get it. But I think once you do it, it's
yeah, for sure.
It makes more sense to you.
Well, guys, we're right at about the 30-minute mark. Oh, did you see that giant bug?
No. Oh, what is
Giant bug tried to attack my ear.
Oh.
It was a mayfly.
Oh, okay.
We're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining us. If you like this, give us a thumbs up on the way out.
Yeah,
And
we can do more of these. This wasn't... I mean, it took Corey some time to get videos together just to try to give you guys something to look at.
Learning the software here, too.
Rather than just sitting here listening to us yakety yak. What do your children think about sailing? That is an interesting question.
Ella is in love with the fantasy of it.
Ella loves a trampoline on the front end of a cat. She loves them.
Yep.
Loves to just lay there and look at her reflection through the netting and and just be excited and have a room, because actually in our physical she doesn't. She has the living room, which is technically her room. That's what we use it as. But I think she's excited about that. Carter...
He's nervous about internet access, which is going to be important for all of us. We're going to need internet access, so no matter how much we try to pacify him with it'll be fine, it'll be fine. He still gets very nervous about that. But I'll tell you, when we are out, when we take, because we have that little high field dinghy now, when we go out, they love it. They absolutely love it.
Yeah, they like to go out. We like to get off and look around, and we took it down to Florida and we spent a whole day on the water just snorkeling and doing stuff, and that was super fun. So they like the adventure. It's just getting them on board. But again, they don't make the decisions.
No, as they say, we're not going to be the kid-centric family. We're the adults. We're making the decisions.
I want them to be happy, and there's a few things about this that they are really excited about. One is homeschooling, which they are actually getting to experience right now because of this virus. And that's going great. And Carter he wants to continue to homeschool. He just prefers it.
One of the cool things about the internet access, and he likes to do online gaming, is that he still gets to interact with his friends and with a headset, and they talk and they play strategy.
That's what he's doing right now.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just a different time.
Yeah,
and
that's how they hang out.
While we were hoping that we would still have the amenities here, when we had all of those, they would get all of their exercise and recreation type stuff while swimming and doing all that.
And then go back to gaming with friends. So internet access is really important. I know there's things coming leaps and bounds, hopefully in that field. And I know once we get somewhere, we can always buy SIM cards and, but if you're in more remote places, it's going to be potentially difficult. But again,
they're going to adjust.
They're going to adjust. Everybody is. It's going to be adjustment for everybody.
And what we've seen and what I heard from actual real people, and then what we're seeing on the YouTube channels, the people that have kids that are aging out, going into college, apparently it makes them very competitive, because when you are applying to colleges, you stand out. You stand out significantly from all of the other applicants. Oh, you were the one that went sailing and spent all the time in these foreign exotic places, and the worldview is different, and so anyway,
so that's what they're both. Carter's excited about going sailing. He's excited about being on the boat, but the caveat is he wants internet access when he wants internet access. And that's the kicker.
Oh, well.
So we'll have to see what we can do about that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, always post them on this video, and we'll probably do another live stream during this time, because
we'll see how this goes.
How that's probably going to go down for a bit. But we were supposed to be on a trip right now. We were supposed to be in Key Largo, and we were going to try to see some boats while we were on that trip, and that got canceled. So we're home for spring break, and we're just chilling.
But if you can see behind us, It's not a bad place to be.
Nope, it's beautiful here. This is our back. This is right behind our RV.
This is our back view.
So this is our back view. We sit out here all the time.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
Guys,
thanks for watching.
Stay safe. Wash your hands. Do all those things you're supposed to do, and we will see you guys soon. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Bye.
The mouse
How
isn't
do you
working.
do it?
Here it is.
Oh.
Bye.
So we don't know how.
Yeah, the mouse wasn't working for some reason.
All right, babe. How do you think that went?
I think it went okay. How do you think it went?